Barcelona, per the excellent David Ornstein of The Athletic, massive report here where we all know the Frenkie de Jong situation. Barcelona really need to get rid of a few players in order to register the new ones. There's obviously the financial, economic levers that they're trying to pull in order to generate more income, in order to meet the certain criteria from a perspective in La Liga, economically speaking. But per David Ornstein, Barcelona looked at the contract that was originally signed when Bartomeu was around and told de Jong that this actually was illegal, and they could take him to court if he doesn't agree to either significantly reducing your wages or leaving. Then, in addition to that, everybody, Cope reported that the Sixth Street deal regarding the Barcelona marketing rights was partially paid for with Barcelona's own money. They essentially created their own entity to pay off that money. But, La Liga is saying that it's not enough, right? And saying that you still have registration issues as well. And then meanwhile, the very excellent Gerard Romero, who talks about Barcelona all the time, reporting on it, Bernardo Silva apparently is being linked with Camp now as well. And Frenkie de Jong, apparently maybe Chelsea's getting more interested, and aubameyang might go there as well. And Memphis Depay to Tottenham. Who knows? Okay, let's begin with the De Jong situation. What do you make of it? Because this is just insane. Great reporting from David Ornstein once again. What do you make of it?
I think this is beyond the scope of ridiculousness. This is showing a club that looks more like the Catalonia mob. This looks more like The Godfather Part 1, 2, maybe not 3, because 3 I thought 2 and 1 were better than 3.
I'm with you.
But this is getting crazier by the second. This is a club that is going out. It looks like they're just lying in the media and doing things behind closed doors. Accounting wise, look, if your issue started with accounting, you don't continue it by creating entities. So the figures to that, with the Sixth Street deal, it was supposed to be 400 million euros that they get in terms of revenue upfront. Sixth Street get 25% of TV rights up to that at this certain point. With this entity, they've now miraculously generated 617 million euros just out of thin air.
Yeah, and La Liga is saying that, in fact, it's actually way less of that. Keep going.
Yeah. And so the thing that I don't understand is if you're a player and you're watching this, how in the hell do you still say, you know what? You know where I need to go? Right into the pits of hell that is Barcelona. Maybe not the neighborhood you're staying in, but that stadium is jinxed. Get the hell away from there.
Yeah, well, you know what? Des Norris and I were talking about this while we were waiting for you before taping, that I have a take about it. I don't know if it's a correct take, but sometimes I feel that players, they're very smart. They're not naive, but they are young. They aren't still in their mid-20s. And I'm not trying to dissuade you from thinking otherwise, but I just think that sometimes players, I don't know, their own envision of what they think a club is not directly related to the realism of what the club actually is doing. And I think, an agent can maybe sell something a little bit better than before, but it's just crazy. Yes, Des, go ahead, run it. I believe Nico Cantor asked Joan Laporta regarding the De Jong situation amounting to extortion. Check it out. It's right here.
The last question on Frenkie, I don't want to press on so much. The Dutch Players Union chairman, Evgeny Levchenko, had mentioned that what's going on between Frenkie and Barcelona was a kind of extortion. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I respect all the opinions, but we are not doing any extortion to anybody. If talks between two parties is an extortion, I think that this guy is wrong, but I respect any opinion.
So I have a thing here, Mike. I want your opinion on what you just saw there. But, always, if you want to, know a person, follow what they do, not what they say. And I feel like this is very true and this is not just on Laporta. This is on everybody. What do you make of a great question by Nico? But what do you make of Laporta's handling of the De Jong situation?
I think it's getting worse by the second. The less he says in front of the media, the better. I think it's getting to a point where he's talking himself in circles, and Xavi is in bed with him in that, where this started out by saying, hey, he's not for sale. Manchester United leading the race in trying to pursue him
We
at
want
all
to keep
costs.
him,
We want to
etc.
keep him. He's not for sale. And then
He
they
had a
said,
great game against Pumas in John
Yep.
Gamper, where Barcelona on the pitch looked
Oh my gosh.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yep.
So football-wise, he's great. But
Oh,
yes, correct.
And then it goes, well, maybe for 65 million euros, we'll think about it. And then slowly but surely, actually overnight, it became 85 plus add-ons. And then it was, well, he's not for sale to the media, but behind closed doors, it's, let's play him at center back. As a player, I've been there. When the club does not want you, when they move past you, when they see an opportunity to get rid of you and bring in other players, these are the games they play. They play mind games with the players on the field first, playing you out of position, playing you in a position that could be the detriment of your confidence. That it's pretty much trying to get the player to cry uncle, so he can say, you know what, I want out at all costs, rip up the contract, and send me anywhere to go to his agent. And this is the type of mind games that's happening.
Yeah, and Des, you're correct. We could have another podcast about Pumas and how they were just there to make up the number because it was just embarrassing. But it was on the pitch. It's a beautiful. There's no denying on what Xavi is doing on the pitch. A great manager and the talent that he has. You know, everybody knows how much of a fan I am with Pedri and Gavi, and of course, you know, Lewandowski entering is fantastic. But to your point, there is a little bit of a, I don't want to say bullying, but I can't think of anything else here. You know, intimidation factors regarding a player who, by the way, I mean, you know, the scenes of Martin Braithwaite entering that game, by the way, and then the Camp Nou booing him. That's just, that's disgusting. That's, you know, this is a player that is entitled to his contract, and you're booing him for that? Come on. Like, that's ridiculous.
That's the thing. That's a flip side of the modern day and the modern player is you signed a player to a contract, and this is not the player's fault that the likes of Laporta, Rosell, who you might be watching this show still behind bars. And I mean, this is an issue that started at the top. These players were not part of it. They did their due diligence to play well enough to be on Barcelona's radar. And there's a contract that you signed. It's a binding contract between two parties. And, you know, yes, there's this sense of Catalonian pride. There's a sense of nostalgia that's attached to Barcelona. But these players do not, they owe them 90 minutes. They do not owe them anything past that. That's not what a contract guarantees you. And so this is business. There's business for Barcelona, goes the Barcelona way, and business for these players go the players' way. Pure soccer business.
Yeah, because then there's the De Jong factor, and then the thing that we originally discussed, where like being locked in dispute with the league, the own league in which you're playing, over a deal regarding selling future TV rights to a U.S. fund. I mean, that's a lot to take in there.
Yeah.
But because of that, you might not be able as a club to register players, and that's and as we're taping, by the way, Barcelona's social media accounts are showing clips of different players showing their new numbers for the season. It's just insanity to me. It's insanity to me. And listen, I just want to say this, like, I'm going to the opener this weekend. Like, I have a soft spot for this club. Everybody does, because it's the club that teaches you the right way to play the game. Més que un club, right? It's meant to be, you know, philosophically speaking, culturally speaking, something that you look up to. La Masia is like this great academy, obviously Lionel Messi and all these other players. But, you know, I want it to prosper. But it's, you know, it's getting to the point where you don't know exactly what you're getting out of the product that you're investing in. It's insane to me.
Yeah, I will always forever be a player's guy, having been a former player. And gosh, this happens not to this extent on the world stage, but this is part of the business. These are the dark arts of soccer. When clubs get into trouble, you're trying to balance books at all costs, because that is more than the club. There's a lot of money that's floating around. And for a club that has the ambition, and really, I'm going to guess that once Real Madrid won the Champions League, there is no option for Barcelona than to go out and win at all costs.
Success needs to happen now.
Overnight.
Absolutely right.
When that happened, that triggers that we need to do this overnight, or else we'll be the forgotten story. Atletico Madrid winning the title the year before Madrid does. Barcelona kind of being on the downward turn. They get Xavi, but not like this, Barca. Not like this. I like, as a United fan, I used to cringe. I used to envy Barcelona because they were becoming the new standard in Europe. with that golden generation, but it was the way they did it. It was that love affair on the field and off the field with the club, the high standards, the ethics. This is a club I don't even recognize right now.